right. Thank you, Greg. Thank you to all of you for being here. Are we inspired? Are we inspired by what we heard from Greg this morning? I'm inspired. And speaking of dreaming a little bit crazy, the fact that you are all here in this room with me today is a manifestation of crazy. Because 2 years ago, we sat in a small room and debated, Amanda and myself, and we said, the best way to celebrate AI and talk about AI is to get a group of human beings together that peer over the metaphorical edge. And that's what we're here to do today. A gathering of technologists, of marketers, of e-commerce leaders, of leaders in all walks of life coming together to contemplate this big new trend around AI. So let's do that. Let's start imagining one of those possibilities. Imagine that you have a great day today, you go back home, you have a good night's sleep, you wake up tomorrow morning, and you visit the website that you all have spent the last many years curating. It pretty much looks exactly as you expect. It looks exactly like you curated it over this last 20 or 30 years. And then you check your analytics, and you see something kind of strange. There are no customers visiting your website today. And you think to yourself, did I have a few too many drinks at the Edge yesterday? And then you realize that actually, no, they just aren't visiting. And it's of course not that they don't value your products or services or are interested in what you have to offer them. It's that they have found a different way to find you. They have bypassed the digital experience that you have spent this last 20 or 30 years curating. Well, we have entered the age of agentic AI. And effectively, the website is dead. Now, don't call me crazy yet, because this is indeed a story of the website is dead, long live the website. Because of course what that means is that the website, the user interface that we have created is been created for human beings, but it hasn't been created for their agents. And the core of what makes websites valuable, the structure of it, the metadata, the search box, the navigation menus, the content, the products, the descriptions, the customer data, all of that is just as valuable as it ever was. What's changed is how that information reaches those consumers, how they find you. Essentially, your customer experience will be driven by a collection of agents that are proxying for human beings, acting on their behalf, and finding you. Now, this shouldn't come as a big surprise. That day may be a little bit out there, but in many ways, you are using the first of a collection of agents every day today with ChatGPT. That is what that is. It is the beginning of this agent revolution. And of course, our mental models like comparison. So we start thinking about this as, okay, I get it. This is just a replacement of search. This is a new kind of search. It used to be Google, now it's chat. But of course, that severely underestimates the potential of these agents. Because what we do on chat and what we did on search are just simply not the same thing. We used to search, put a couple of keywords in, click on a link, arrive at a website. Now, we search, we research, we compare products, we ask for prices, we generate charts, maybe we generate videos, we go back and forth, we ask follow-up questions. Indeed, we do so much more through these agents and through chat than we ever did with search. So we're already starting to outsource more of our digital interactions to these agents. And because of that, the buyer journey that we know, the funnels that we have built, those pretty charts, it's not just changing, it is really disappearing as these AI agents start to act as sophisticated intermediaries. And of course, we've all read about how one day those intermediaries, these agents, will buy on our consumers' behalf. And they will, for the kind of products that are commoditized, that are replenishment-oriented, that are routine-oriented. We can absolutely see a world where agents are buying on our consumers' behalf. But we can also see a world that for all products, for all services, no matter how complex, no matter how intimate, that these agents will do far more on behalf of the consumer than they ever have before. We will do a lot more. And so by the time these agents are, proxy consumers, and those consumers ultimately visit your digital experience, even for more robust purchases, you can expect them to be far more knowledgeable and far further down the journey than they ever were before. So what should you be doing about all of this? How do we contemplate this kind of future in the today? Well, the first step is likely what you're already doing, which is thinking about how you surface your products and services on chat, on Google AI overviews, on Perplexity, on Siri, on Meta, and thinking about how you show up in these LLMs. And showing up for these agents is a good start. Not easy, but a good start. But the thing is, the expectations of the experiences that you are curating, the marketing you are putting forward, well, those expectations have just skyrocketed. Because consumers are not just expecting a higher degree of relevancy, they're expecting the kind of two-way interactions that are dynamic that they're getting off your properties. And it's our job to deliver that quality of experience to them. And in fact, if we don't, the stakes and the economics to go win the AI era are incredibly high. Because if you don't figure out how to deliver these highly personalized, relevant, AI-driven experiences to consumers, somebody else's AI will. And they will then charge you for the privilege of reaching your customers. And when we're talking about taxes, you thought the Google tax was high, you thought the Meta tax was high. Wait till you see the OpenAI tax. It's coming. So this is not a doom and gloom story. There is incredible good news here. There is a way for brands to be ready, to fight back, and to win the AI era. And in our view, it lies in the ability to deliver something entirely new and entirely possible in 2025. And that is agentic personalization. In a world where consumers are empowered by their set of agents, where they may have a ChatGPT agent, they may have an agent supplied by Google, we meet them with our own collection of agents. We meet them with conversational shopping agents. We meet them with autonomous marketing agents. We meet them with customer service agents. And these agents, they will become the foundation of your digital experience, exposing your products and services and content wherever they are looking to be discovered. And these agents will do more than just expose. They will deeply personalize, because where traditional personalization said, how can I create a better experience for these consumers? The agent will say, what problem is this consumer or their agent looking to solve, and how do I deliver a solution right now, at scale, highly personalized, with context of all past interactions? In fact, we think that enabling agentic personalization relies on three key steps. First, build for conversation. Maybe you introduce a conversational shopping agent, maybe you use a customer service agent, but whatever it is, make it a conversation. Maybe you start really simply. You start understanding natural language in the search box. All of these approaches, and wherever your starting point is, it's important to be two-way. It's important to start with the conversation. Now, the good news about conversations is they aren't just cool. They're proven to make you money. For those of you who have offline stores, you know that the conversion rate in your physical stores is far greater than the conversion rate in your digital stores. And why is that? Well, it's because a conversation is taking place in there. A two-way interaction is taking place in there. We just happen to call those sales associates, and now we get digital sales associates to help us raise the conversion rate on our digital experiences. So building for conversation is essential. Second, we have to build for these consumer agents. That can be fairly simple. That can be simply about exposing your product catalogs to be able to be crawled, to be able to be understood, attributing your products most effectively. But it is, on a longer-term basis, essential that you introduce a new criteria for all of your technology platforms. And that is, do these technology platforms speak the lingua franca of the agentic age? The lingua franca of the agentic age is a new set of protocols. Protocols like MCP, protocols like A to A, protocols like the new payment protocol that Google just announced. These protocols are the ways by which agents communicate with each other. And if you don't support these protocols, ultimately, you are effectively saying, I don't care if they find me. So you need to support these protocols. You need to make sure that as you invest in these standards, you treat them just as though you would treat a web browser or just as though you would treat an iPhone app. You will be releasing software to support this new ecosystem of standards. The good news on that is this is more than just about tech support. This is about increasing your reach. Because if your agents can speak these protocols and can communicate with the consumer's agents, well, now you're not limited by the speed at which a human being can traverse a website. You are ultimately communicating at a rate that is orders of magnitude faster, orders of magnitude deeper, and that presents potential for your revenue to grow and for your interactions to be that much more personalized. And finally, embrace autonomous capabilities. You just simply can't allow resource bottlenecks to get in the way of delivering this incredibly compelling user experience and personalizing at the speed of agentic. So you've got to turbocharge your marketing, turbocharge your merchandising, turbocharge your development, and doing that has got to rely on harnessing the power of autonomous systems to do the job. But we aren't going to get there just with tech. I don't want to suggest that this is a technology story by itself, because this is an incredible organizational story. It doesn't happen if the organization, if you as leaders don't go back tomorrow and say, yes, we'll embrace the tech, but we'll only do it in a way that is native and with an organizational structure that isn't built for the past. And you've got to ask some hard questions here. Do you still need manual merchandising? Do you still need your teams to approve every creative copy? Do you still need to painstakingly construct campaign flows one at a time to create 4 to 6 week cycles to get something out there? Maybe the answer is yes, maybe the answer is no, but I'm certain that when you ask these questions, the answers will surprise you. Autonomous capabilities are going to give us the ability to operate at 10x. We have seen that in our own data. We have seen that in our own experimentation. That world is here. Harnessing the power of autonomous agents gives us that kind of speed. Now, I'm super excited about all of this. I started Bloomreach over 15 years ago, really with a very personal mission, which was how do we deliver the kind of beautiful experiences that Greg just shared at scale, highly personalized to 7 billion people. We are still on that mission today. And I think with Agentic, we can accelerate the pace. So as we enter into this period of agentic personalization, we are honing our focus, we are redoubling, and we at Bloomreach are making the kind of investments that ensure that that brand promise that we set so many years ago, that we can deliver on it. First, we are on a mission to create highly autonomous software. We're investing in it all across the board. You are going to see examples of autonomous marketing through the day today. And what I mean by that is the kind of agent that can determine who to target, what message to target them with, build the campaign, run the campaign, optimize the campaign, generate the creative, create the reports, and do all of that autonomously. That's the kind of autonomous software that we're talking about. Second, we're here to help take you and ourselves into the conversational era. And when we do that, we're going to be able to create new front doors, new user experiences that we're going to dream up with all of you. And as we do that, we're going to take the unstructured data from those conversations, feed it back into the customer profile, and open up a plethora of opportunities for customer intimacy that we have never seen before. Because the amount of knowledge we can gain about our customer in one conversation is manyfold what we could gain in a few keywords or a few clicks. So that kind of intimacy is at hand. And we're going to harness that to deepen your relationships. And third, we're investing in these protocols that I spoke about. We are going to ensure that we give you the modern stack that communicates in the agentic era alongside an incredible ecosystem of partners, folks like Google, data warehouses like Snowflake and Databricks, commerce platforms like Shopify. We are fully in the know that agentic systems must collaborate with each other. This team of agents that Greg was talking about needs collaboration too. And we're going to make sure to take you into that era. All of these bets are in service of creating the kind of deeply personalized, ultimately human experiences that we talked about earlier today, and transforming and elevating the economics of your business. In just a minute, we're going to have a number of customers take the stage. And what's going to be great about this is they're not just going to talk about what their dreams are. They're going to talk about what their reality is and how to take the steps to go towards that dream of an agentic future. And I hope that they inspire your thinking as much as they inspire me. And I hope that these insights you take back to your teams, to your peers, that they start a conversation, and that you start to explore what's possible right now. Because the website may not be dead yet, but certainly the agentic era is upon us. It's here to stay, and it's very much at the beginning. And those that jump right in, that say, I'm at the edge, I'm here to do it, let's do it, they're the ones that will win the agentic era. It might feel a bit uncertain. I'd be the first to say that it can be a little scary. But let's remember that there was a room like this who at one point said, I'm not sure about people buying stuff online. And there was a room like this 2 years ago, not very long ago, that said, this AI thing, I don't know, is this real? Does this feel like metaverse all over again? But here we are. We take these things for granted, and that's how fast it happens. So thank you for coming to The Edge. It's a privilege for us at Bloomreach to host you here. We appreciate your willingness to step out. Let's discover this opportunity together. Welcome to the era of agentic personalization. Thank you.